What's going on, people? How you doing? This is TK coming at you. Today I just want to talk to you about freedom. Now, Harriet Tubman said freedom only comes to those who realize they're in a cage. So when you talk about debt, you talk about the slavery that is the entrapment of debt. Everyone gives consent to their cage and don't desire to be free. Our system of fake entrapment based on you consenting to merchant law when the only thing that applies to you is common law. So you are choosing to stand under the authority of laws and statutes that you have to give consent to. And that is how you give up your freedom, your power, and remain a slave. So, whether you know it or not, merchant law doesn't apply to human beings. Flesh and blood human beings do not fall underneath commerce or merchant law. And you have to give consent. You have to stand under the authority in order for that corporation to have any power over you. Corporations can only influence other corporations. Are you a corporation? Or are you a flesh and blood human being separate from your corporation? Slavery in the modern system is done, implemented, and controlled by fear and ignorance. You are a slave, and you consent to your slavery through lack of information, and of course, being content. So, the more freedoms that you give up, the more comfortable you are in your content, then the more you have to basically give up, or the more you have to lose. What I'm suggesting is that slaves wake up. What I'm suggesting is that the fake construct that is money goes away because you realize that there's fake. You enter an agreement, and under merchant law or commerce law, if you enter an agreement with someone, that both parties have to give equal value in order for that agreement to be valid. So how is it an equal value contract when the second party makes up the value out of thin air? Like I said, the construct that is money is debt that's created out of nothing and has no value. Money only has strength because people put faith and confidence in it. The government deeming it value doesn't make it valuable. It is the faith and confidence that the people have in said decree that gives it any substance. So all of fiat money is a decree. by a corporation that says this piece of paper has value. And then you put your faith and confidence in that piece of paper, in the fact that someone else will accept it. But as soon as the confidence and faith is lost, the other party won't accept it. This example can be seen in India when the government removed the promise from the top 2 denomination notes. Now, the decree was removed, the promise was taken away, but at the same token, there was still faith and confidence in the exchange. And there were people willing to still accept those notes for lesser value. So the construct that is paper is backed by a promise that is a decree and strengthened by faith and confidence in the exchange from person to person. How do you get ahead of the construct? How do you change the paradigm so that you are no longer the slave? How do you regain your sovereignty in terms of you being a flesh and blood human being separate from your corporation? One construct or one separate entity or separate creation that separates you is a digital open ledger, open transparency in recording of transactions between 2 people that happens securely within the internet. That's the flip side, or the secondary creation that came out of the debt cycle of 2008. So now individuals have the opportunity to exchange value between 2 people, securely encrypt it on the internet, and openly record it so that validation or certification can happen in a consensus. So in other words, openly I'm going to record that I sent you some value, and then the network of participants within that value system is going to validate that that transaction took place. Listen to what I'm telling you. This is the opposite of the current monetary system of top-down control, where value is created out of thin air, where the exchange of value is one-sided. So the hole in the dam that is fiat is cryptocurrency. And the first cryptocurrency ever created is Bitcoin. So Bitcoin gives you the opportunity to transfer value between 2 people in an open, transparent, secure way on the internet that doesn't require permission or any third or counterparty interaction whatsoever. The validation and trust happens in the open ledger recording and the consensus between the participants on the network. So I'm giving you an option to fiat control and slavery. And what I'm telling you is that slaves, wake up. Blue pill, red pill, make a decision. Opt out of fiat control or die in government liberty that will be taken away from you. that will be siphoned. Those are your choices. You decide.